Hang on a second, Troy. Yep. No, Dan. Still too many in. Yeah, hang on. I've got you on the on TV a second. Okay, guys, we're trying to get that stream back up. As usual, technical difficulties. And there we go. We're back up and running. Dan, good to go. Yep. Apologies everyone for that. Some sort of technical hitch on my side, which is unusual and completely crashed the whole thing. So hopefully the mic seems to have resolved itself as well. So we should be up and running with race 2 very, very shortly. Dan, can you run out on track for a minute just so I can check everything?
Sure, mate.
Sorry, 18, 18, 16.
Just check everybody can actually hear the cars on track. Just checking we can hear the cars now. Okay, that's good. Looks like we're good to go. Apologies to our viewers for that. Technical hitches you can't escape when you're live streaming, unfortunately. Okay, looks like we're back up and running, so should be a couple of minutes till we get into the second race. And it should be a 51 lap race, isn't that right, Troy?
I do believe 52.
There we go, yeah, 52 lap race, reverse grid. Hopefully we're all ready to go. Again, apologies for the loss of picture there for a little while.
Matt White, you're watching Racing-Leagues.com with Steve O'Connor and Troy Allen.
Okay, everybody, and welcome back to our live coverage of the second race of round one from Sydney Motorsports Park. Alongside me, as normal, Troy Allen. Troy, we had a fantastic race one there with a lot of surprises with the strategy, it's fair to say. Some people jumping into pit stops there that we clearly didn't expect. Some people, Kai, for instance, not having the pace that we expected. But in the end we ended up with pretty much one of the two people we expected to win. Brett Clark took out the win. Race 2 is a different animal though, isn't it, with the reverse grid?
It's an exceptionally different animal. I mean, we were talking in race 1 about tyre degradation. Add in a reverse grid, and those numbers you pretty much double them almost.
Yes, that is a good point as well. Any surprises we're expecting from this one in particular?
You know what, Steve? I would have said there was. After seeing that race turned into a one-stop race, I won't be surprised to see a two-stop. You know what? Maybe even a three.
That was going to be my next point as well, is they couldn't make 31 laps on one stop, a lot of them. 51 laps, they're going to need at least one stop, and possibly two, maybe with two short soft tire runs, depending on, because as we've seen, the soft tire is worth about 1 second to 2 seconds a lap on outright pace around here. And that would add up pretty soon, because it's a relatively short pit lane on this track. Is that you're straight in, you're in the pits, and it's a very fast exit as well. So you're not getting as punished as much as you would in some tracks with the having to take a pit stop.
Not necessarily, but it's going to come down to your stationary time as well, and how long you're stationary, whether you're taking on fuel or not.
And I guess that depends which team you're driving for, because we've seen the likes of SRT seem to shoot people out of a bolt, DSA as well. BSR, not so flash on the pit stops.
Look, BSR, I think, being a fresh team, we saw that problem with DSA as well. You know, the early days of DSA, their pit stops were absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, we're just on the screen now in the final warm-up before the race starts. So we've got two JRC cars, the 5 car and the ASR car of Colin Bruns, all stacked up, running around together in the warm-up. What are they actually achieving by running around so close together? Are they trying to simulate what it's going to be like in the race and check the behaviour of the car?
I guess that could be what they're trying to do, or maybe just trying to find out where the optimum space is for this.
Last lap now of the warm-up, and we should be getting ready for race 2, and I'm excited for race 2. 52 laps around this car destroying track, or tire destroying track, shall we say. It's going to be a challenge to keep, 1, the concentration for the whole time, 2, keep the tyres on it, and 3, when you do have to pit, to make sure that you get in and out as quickly as possible.
It's going to be extremely interesting. I think tire deg is definitely one thing we're going to have to watch. The fuel numbers, that's probably not as crucial as what you would think, Steve, because with a two-stop race, you've got enough there to split your load over sort of two stops there, so you're not having one big fill at the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, makes sense. I suppose drive of the day for race 1 there, and apologies to both Brett and Kai. They don't qualify for drive of the day because we expect them to be right out front most times. But Stuart Poitier taking out third position there as well. That was a pretty stunning introduction to Racing Leagues, wasn't it?
Oh, look, I don't think he could go anywhere else but, and to do it on a no stop as well, and then be able to fight Kai off in the back end with some what would have been virtually brand new tyres in comparison is one hell of a drive.
Absolutely, and as we did mention to Stuart in the interview following the race there as well, was to try and see what he thought of trying to make it through the reverse grid race, and as he said, he hadn't actually practiced or tried that, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting challenge for him to try and get through. And as we said, 2.9 seconds from first to 20th position on the grid. All of these midfield guys have got pace, and when you get to them, they're not going to be easy mutton by any stretch of the imagination, are they?
No, they're not. I mean, he's going to find, as he spends more and more time in the league on track with these guys, he's going to find that there are some guys that if you want to pass them, you better think about it 3, 4, 5 laps before you're going to do it, because otherwise it's going to take you that long to probably get them set up for the move.
And surprisingly as well for me, I don't know about yourself, Troy, but it looks like it's a bit of a nightmare to try and pass around this track as well. There seems to be one line, and if you go off that line, you're compromised somewhere alongside it, so you don't actually get the chance to throw one down the inside. Apart from turn 2 seems to be the only one.
Look, yeah, yes and no. Turn 2 is a definite move. I think we also saw Turner do it into 5. If you get a good run out of 4, you can almost stick it down the inside of 5. And if you don't make it stick and you're side by side, then into 6, you're definitely on for the inside line there.
I think that was a bit of an anomaly, though, to be fair, that when you're looking at that turn, you need someone else, the other driver, to make a bit of a mistake on the entry to allow you to try and make a move on that one, because as we've seen, especially Clark trying to pass Gavin Cox a few times through that corner, it wasn't happening until Gavin finally made a mistake and he was down the inside and away, because you get punished with the tighter turning circle through there. You don't get the power down on the exit as well as somebody who's got the wider turn in as well.
No, definitely not. But if you manage to stick the car down the inside, you can actually sort of force them to sort of maybe sacrifice their exit speed as well.
And here we go, Troy. We're getting ready for the start of race 2. This race is a 52 lap race. You must stop for all 4 tyres in this race as well. Interestingly, Troy, actually just thinking about that, that's something we didn't notice anybody doing in race 1, was just changing 2 tyres. Surely looking back with hindsight, as we know, it's a great leveler. You could have jumped in and just changed maybe the fronts and got yourself an extra second or 2 in the pit stop.
Yeah, it could be.
Could have been a bit of advantage. Something that'll probably evolve as the season goes on, when the drivers actually start to realise that they might just have got away with changing 2.
Look, I don't think it's going to make so much of a difference with how many tyres, not like in a GT style car where there's only a set number of guys per tyre, whereas you can do all 4 tyres in one hit on a Vert supercar.
Yeah, and to be fair, this track, when you're getting 2, you might as well get the other 2, but some of the other tracks we go to, there might be a distinct advantage in just grabbing the two front tyres, and the rears will hang on for the rest of it, especially when they're a short track.
Oh, definitely, but something that's not really hard wearing on the rear tyre in terms of drive and everything like that, then sure, by all means, get your working tyre, which, look, at Eastern Creek is your right hand front, we all know that. Get that one changed, put some fresh ones on, buckle your boots, and away you go.
Okay, so we've just got the cars making their way around to their grid slot now, 2 minutes and 40 seconds until the race start. Previously, you had a warm-up lap where you could be warming the brakes and the tyres and stuff. This one's more of a just keep everything on the car and be as delicate as possible getting around, getting your grid slot, and then go for it. So a little bit of a culture change for the drivers this season.
Look, that's exactly right. I think not having that actual warm-up lap makes a hell of a lot of difference. Now, in respect to what I was mentioning before about the whole Bert Van Jaarsveld, Apparently, there was a technical issue where he had walked back to pit and then had to start again. So steward Bruce Duncan is looking into it to see if that was the case, because he actually said it happened to him last night.
Okay, fair enough. So as we've had a couple of little technical issues this morning as well, so hopefully they're ironed out and we should be ready for an awesome race 2 around this track as well. It's a very, very challenging track. Concentration levels need to be high. Control of the car, you really need to get it together as well.
Oh, look, this is a track that demands 100% commitment, even just the slightest bit of hesitance, I guess you could call it, and it's going to bite, and it's going to bite hard.
So on pole position we have Darren Goosey from Roger Clark, from Trevor Dixon, from Norman Clark, Jason Witherington 5th, Daryl Bennett 6th, Forrest Carr in 7th, Ian Hannon 8th, Claude Johnson 9th, Colin Bruns 10th, Pengelly 11th, Wayne Dare 12th, Bart Van Jelsfield 13th, Ricard Pavel in 14th, Cox in 15th, Dan Stevens reigning champion in 16th, Kai Turner in 17th, Stuart Poitier in 18th, Brett Clark in 19th, and David Kinnaman starting 20th. So no real advantage in anybody not finishing that race. We only had one DNF, which makes it an absolute nightmare for the top racers from the last race to actually have to get through the grid. They've got, Brett Clark in particular, 19 cars to get through. That's going to be a bit of a mission.
Definitely is going to be a mission, Steve, and if anyone can do it at a decent pace, it's Brett Clark. We do know that.
Yeah, but as we noticed, it's quite hard to pass around here as well, so it's going to be a challenge to say the least. So we've got Darren Goosey starting from pole position, 10 seconds to go till the lights start to come up. Roger Clark on the outside there in the Oranga car, second Oranga car directly behind Clark, and Trevor Dixon in third position there as well. So it's going to be interesting to
Tell
start.
you
Here we
what, Dave
go.
Kimman timed that to perfection. He got there with 5 seconds to spare.
And we have issue.
Crashed.
Okay, apologies for that. Looks like the technical issues are going to continue with the R Factor 2. And I can guarantee you it's somebody's crashed just as it was about to go green.
Would have been the Dave Kinnaman issue there, because he turned up literally with seconds to go.
Whisper, Steve. Stephen Combs copy.
Go, Bruce.
Had to restart, unfortunately. Sorry, we've had a bit of a technical issue here.
But yeah, this is something we're not used to seeing. As many issues as this, Steve. I mean, it's not something we pride ourselves on here, that we're usually a flawless community.
Yeah, I think it's R Factor 2 itself. It's what's happened to me. It's gradually getting worse the longer we use it, unfortunately. So it's getting long in the tooth and it's got a few issues. Bruce was just talking to us there, so just hang on a second, Troy. We'll get first hand what's happened. Bruce from Steve.
Got you, Steve.
Yeah, what's actually happened? Somebody crashed on the way.
Yeah, everyone was set, and Colin's system decided to completely crash on them.
Ah, okay. Yes, so as we suspected,
we're just waiting on him, just coming back in just now.
One of our drivers got crashed out just as it was about to go green. We've had that in pretty much every session since the last build of this platform, so that's annoying and frustrating for everybody, but we shall be back very, very shortly. Just waiting on him to load in and then we'll get green as soon as possible. So all our viewers, just bear with us. It won't be long now. And hopefully that'll be the end of the technical issues.
We can only hope so. Now, apparently, Steve, there has been talk amongst the community here that they're not actually releasing another build or a new build update on R-Factor 2 anymore.
Well, I suppose it's something we need to address sooner rather than later. It certainly looks like it's been pretty much abandoned by its creators. We haven't seen anything new. We've got quite a few bugs. Nothing's been sorted. So in a couple of weeks, we will have something else to announce. I suppose I can let our viewers in on it now, and before our members actually get to find out that we will be looking at iRacing in the opposite Saturdays to this series. So we'll have two V8 Supercar series running shortly side by side. It's a bit of a toe in the water for us to see how it works and how we can move things along a little bit. As we've said, we're having quite a few technical issues with this platform at the moment, and our aim is to provide the best product possible for everybody. And as you can see, myself had issues today. Some of the drivers are having issues. Long term, I don't think it's sustainable, to be honest, Troy.
No, okay, well, so while we've got this downtime then, why don't you take a seat in the chair opposite me here and put on your interviewee cap, and I'll be the interviewer.
Well, let's have a go. Go for it.
Okay, obviously you're the owner here at Racing League, so has iRacing been something you've always looked to try and maybe step up to for this league?
Absolutely not. It's been something I've hated with a passion from day one. And I'll tell you why that is. It's a pretty damn good platform. The racing's pretty good. There don't appear to be too many issues with it. What I've always sort of shied away from is it puts the cost back on the members to be able to sustain it rather than the league. As you know, everything we do here, we provide free for our members. We don't charge anything whatsoever. We allow them to make a premium membership donation if they like for the season or whatever, but iRacing would firmly put the cost model back in their court, which is not something that I'm particularly happy about, but it's not really leaving us many options with R Factor 2 at the minute, but we are going to support it for as long as we possibly can. So this series will continue as normal. Any other series we bring alongside will be a new series unrelated to this one. It'll probably be V8s, as we say, but it will be it won't be forced upon the members, if you like.
Okay, that's a very political answer.
Well, you've got to be careful you don't alienate any group or anything, so we'll put as much resources into each series as we do to this one, so it gives something else for people watching, viewers, potential sponsors or anything like that to get involved. Um, we want to bring as much as we possibly can to the community, offer as much as possible. And on that note, we had our first successful run last night in the European Series with the Assetto Corsa. We didn't get to broadcast it, unfortunately. Hopefully we will be broadcasting future events. But we had a full field of 24 GT3 cars around Vallelunga. And I'm being a bit, how would you say, I managed to take out the win myself out of a full field of 24, past Brett Clark on track for the race win.
Oh, here we go.
So I was quite proud of it, but I was more happy that we had a full field and it was some fantastic racing throughout the field as well. So we are starting to branch out as well, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that to you as well to watch live and in replay, hopefully very shortly.
Oh, of course, Steve, of course. Now, you say the cost goes back onto, obviously, our races. Now, is that more... Does that mean you get a better quality product out of iRacing than R Factor 2?
You do. Without a doubt, you get a much better quality. They host the servers, we just pay to rent them, and it's a minimal fee, to be honest. From the costs involved with running this series at the minute they're huge, to be honest. You're talking somewhere in the region of about $2,500 a year that we absorb to try and put this on. And obviously everybody's time as well. We've got quite a dedicated staff team as well that give up their free time to be able to provide this series. So it's immensely frustrating for me when I see things crashing, technical issues and stuff, because we want to bring the best product we can, and we believe that probably iRacing will do that for us as well. So as I say, this series won't disappear, or Factor 2 won't disappear. We'll support it as long as we have members. We will run this series as long as we have members. But as I say, we're looking at other platforms as well, Assetto Corsa for Europe, iRacing on the opposite Saturdays for this one. So it's, you've got to be able to sustain the series. You've got to look to the future, and that's probably what we're going to be doing sooner rather than later. So let's see what we can do. And obviously, I know Bruce is quite keen to start looking at console stuff as well, so that we get a bit more of an inclusive and representative community as well. So we have we're starting to look at the console platforms as well within the next 6 months as well. So it'll be quite good for everybody. And as we talk about technical issues, we've just had another driver crash out. So apologies to our viewers. This is the reason we're actually discussing other platforms in the first place. It gets embarrassing after a while. So
Definitely does.
let's see. And it also
Hi,
gives,
Steve, Troy.
yes, Thor crashed.
Yep.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Yes, we just had.
I just thought I'd pop in, say hi, and say that we've had another technical issue here.
Yeah, so yeah, we're just discussing technical issues, myself and Troy, and other platforms that we're probably looking to do alongside this. It's obviously a bit of an embarrassment for us every time this happens, but there's nothing we can do about it, really.
No, look, I mean, we try to put the best product forward, and hence why I thought if we could get you to sit down in that interviewee's chair, Steve, we can sort of make some statement of this in downtime and actually have it beneficial to our viewers so they can actually see where we're looking at heading as a league.
Well, absolutely, yeah. We're just trying to be as inclusive as possible, and as we say, give the very best product. Especially, we've invested quite a bit in being able to stream on YouTube as well. There's your time, my time, all of the staff time, all of our viewers' time as well. So hopefully, we'll be able to bring them something new shortly, and be able to see that alongside this series as well. Because this, without a doubt, is a fantastic series. I mean, you're running R Factor 2, and we've got 20 to 26 drivers on the track week in, week out. And the quality of racing, as we see, is absolutely superb as well.
I think that first race has just shown the level of racing there. Now, obviously, back to the iRacing and the cost onus. Now, is there something that you could approach iRacing with as like a package deal as a league, saying, look, we're going to bring X amount of drivers. We want to start a league here. How about we get some subsidies?
Not a chance in hell. That's also one of the things that I'm not particularly fond about. But if you look at them as like a big company like Coca-Cola and stuff, they're not going to give anybody anything. They don't have to, because people are going to do it anyway and pay for it anyway. So why should they? And unfortunately, no, they won't. So we'll do a gentle introduction to it with some free content to start us off with. Obviously, you'll have to buy the V8 supercars to actually be able to join in. But we'll try and keep the cost impact down to a minimum. As I say, we're just going to try and run it alongside what we're doing initially, and we'll support this series as long as possible. And you know, the other thing with Iris is you don't get the involvement of our fantastic mod partners, FVR. We haven't mentioned FVR, who spent all of this time bringing these awesome V8 supercars to us as well. And that's not something that you get with the likes of iRacing. You've got the Ford and the Holden. There's no Volvos, there's no Mercedes, no Nissans, etc. So it does take us back a little step, but the quality will be much better. So it'll be nice to try something different, but this is our number one series and will remain our number one series until such terms as something else takes over. It's a natural evolution.
Oh, look, evolution is a part of life. It's an unfortunate thing at times. But in saying that, this is one of the premier racing leagues that I've been involved with. I do a bit of racing around as well, and I can honestly say that there is no better run league, there's no fairer run league, and there's no higher advertised or supported league in the Asian area.
Yeah, we do spend quite a bit on Facebook advertising and stuff as well, so we try to keep ourselves relevant and get as many people involved as possible, and we try and bring best thing to our viewers. So we've got 1 minute until we're got the off for race 2 for the third time. Hopefully we'll actually get this race going. No more technical issues, please.
But just quickly then, Steve, in terms of broadcasting, is iRacing a better platform? Do you need to have all the mods or anything installed to actually help with your broadcast, or is it just a case of exactly like R Factor?
No, you need to have the tracks and at least one of the cars to be able to view and watch, etc. So yeah, it's something we'll have to discuss offline, obviously, and try and help as many people as possible to get to where we need to be. But as we said, this series will remain our focus until such terms as something that it takes off, and hopefully we'll bring it alongside this as well. So it'll be good to see in a few weeks. So keep an eye on our website, Racing-Leagues.com, for any updates, etc. But we're into the second race of season 2 for the looks of it. We're looking pretty decent for a start on this one.
Sensational. Thank you very much for your time, Steve. We'll let you get back to the main gig.
No problem. And here we go, Troy. 52 laps.
Green, Goosey's missed the start. Clark with a phenomenal start down the outside. Watch for it. Oh, we've got an incident. We've got an incident early back in the grid.
Where about? Oh,
It's Daryl Bennett.
Yeah, we got a huge crash back there. Just looking on from the Brett Clark car on the replay here as well, see if we can catch it.
As we talk, Clark to 12th, Turner to 11th. And there's another moment, Turner and Dare involved in a moment there.
Oh yeah, we just caught the yeah, don't know where to look like it started. We just caught the back end of that incident. Something happened in the mid-pack there. We've got Roger Clark out front from Darren Goosey, who did miss the start from the looks of it. He wasn't quite on the go on the green. Roger Clark leading from Darren Goosey from Trevor Dixon. And we've got Brett Clark already up to 9th position. We've got a hell of a lot of cars grouped together in this part of the track. Gavin Cox Clark has just
Oh,
passed.
it's ugly.
He's after the ASR car of Colin Bruns now. His teammate's right in front of that as well. So we see some action down the home straight here. Kai Turner has gone with him as well. Bit of a chat in the team manager's office there, I think, between Dare and Turner at the end.
I can tell you right now that there'll be a few words spoken. I need to know what happened there.
Don't know what's going on there. So we've got Brett Clark lining up on the ASR
Gavin
car.
Cox off the track. Oh dear, oh dear, this is one messy start. Darian, obviously damage. And Cox as well.
Yeah, just trying to see. Clark did not manage to get past the ASR car. He's now got Kai Turner right on the back of him as well. These are the two we'll imagine will be racing for the outright win at this point. Clark isn't able to get anywhere near the ASR car through that section there as well. The ASR car of Bruns is actually looking to pass Hannon, if I can spit my words out. Hannon in front as well. He's moving around quite a bit on the track, which is going to cause issues for Clark because that's going to distract him. He's got Turner right up the back of him as well.
Oh, there's a massive gaggle of cars here. We do know that in the previous race that it was, I think it was the Pigelli car. Oh, Bruns is, oh!
Ooh, and he's pushed Hannon wide as well, and Clark and Turner are both through. Stewards will be looking at that one. I imagine there'll be some sort of penalty issued on that one. It looked like he got a little bit hot in under the brakes there.
Look, he's locked the rears coming into the hairpin there. Look, I think that I'm just going to lean over here and pick up a case of Red Bull and have it shipped to the steward's office because I think Bruce is going to need it after this one.
We've got Turner looking at making a move on Clark down the home straight as well. He's right on the back. He's going to have a look at turn 2, I would imagine, as well. We're in through turn 1 now as well, but the Caltex Volvo has just pulled a nice little gap through there as well. And he's got his teammate right in front of him as well, 6th and 7th, the two SRT cars. Wim Pengelly is in 5th as well, which is probably one of the outright front runners as well, you would expect. So we're going to see what sort of lap time Clark and Turner have got underneath them now. Can't see what tyres have started on, Troy.
This is a soft tyre only race, Steve, where they have to run the soft tyre for the entire duration.
Ah, okay, so...
But another moment down here, Goosey and Dixon.
Oh yeah, I could say we've just seen the aftermath of that one as well.
The Van Jaarsveld, Clark and Turner all now in 4, 5 and 6.
Absolutely, so let's see if the SRT boys work together to get through this traffic. Turner is looming large in the rear wing of Clark's car.
I'm sure we said it was hard to get through the grid here, didn't we, Steve? Oh, and there's another moment here.
Oh,
Johnson and Pengelly. Van Jaarsveld in the 10, Pengelly.
Same issue that he had in the last race. Van Jaarsveld got caught on the inside
Wow.
with somebody else's mistake and has actually lost several positions now as well. Pengelly is back up to speed. He's in between Clark and Turner as well. Although Turner's looking at making a move, he's not going to make it there. And we're into turn 2, and we know Pengelly's a hard man to pass. He's looking to make a move back on Clark actually at this point. Clark goes to block straight away. Pengelly's on the outside. Turner takes advantage, shoves it down the
Leaves
inside
him
of
behind,
Pengelly. He's got oversteer and he's off. Back on again straight away. He's on the outside for this corner. He's having to battle hard. That's going to hurt those soft tyres.
Oh, it definitely is.
And that's actually put Clark, Pengelly and Turner up to second, third and fourth, believe it or not.
It's been last
Nine-
man standing almost type of thing.
19th to second in 3 laps. That is a phenomenal run by Clark through there, and Turner as well.
It's look, it's been heavily aided by everyone else taking each other out.
As you say, you take the cards you dealt though, and these two have certainly gone for Pengelly as well now that he's gathered it back up. Got to feel a little bit sorry for Van Jaarsveld there. He was seeing the accident happening on the outside of the track as well and stuck his nose in, hoping that they would stay on the outside, and he actually got hit again to the inside of the final corner, which is the exact same thing that happened to him in the previous race, and he's now down in 6th position. I'll tell you what, you've got to give it to Clark though. Look at the gap he's pulled on Pengelly already, and Turner can't even get up to the back of Pengelly at the moment.
Yeah, well, that time around, Clark's gone out with a 1:27.3, so clearly Clark going for a 2-stop race here.
I would say so. It definitely looks like, especially with the soft tyre only as well. Pengelly is not letting this go though. He is running a half decent pace himself, 28.2, 28.9 on the last lap for Kai Turner. Troy, I'm going to call it now, but I think that little battle with Pengelly, Turner has destroyed his front tyres again.
I think you might be right. There was, yeah, it just seems to be no pace.
He's dropped right off as well. He's going to come to the attentions of Dan Ricard-Pavel in the Vegemite car any second now as well. We'll stay with the Brett Clark car because he's looming large on the Oranga Racing car of Roger Clark, who's made a phenomenal start and managed to get out in the lead by a good distance as well, although he's getting closed down now. So good driving there by Roger. And look at Brett Clark is looking for the move already. He's lining himself up down this little bit through the right, left, trying to get as close as he can. Pengelly's closing up as well. And here we go, we're on to start.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Just looking at the attitude of Pengelly car through that little section, he was leaving nothing on the table as well. He knows if he wants to go, he's got to go now.
Yeah, I think he does. Now, it's going to be interesting here. Does the instincts for Roger kick in where he's used to moving over for Brett Clark, or does he actually show some racing grit here and hold for position?
I think he's racing for position, look at that. He's pulled out a good bit through there and he's blocked already to the inside. Pengelly's now right up the back of the Caltex Volvo, and Kai Turner has made it back up as well. They're both getting held up by Roger Clark at the moment. Fair play, he is in the lead after all. Look at Pengelly. Turner's joined the party now as well. Pengelly's the meat in the sandwich, and a little bit of oversteer there from Brett Clark. There's too many Clarks at the front. Trying to get round Roger Clark, and he's struggling at the moment. He's going to... No, he can't make it there. This is the thing, Troy, you make a mistake and Pengelly will be on you like a rat up a drain pipe.
And not just Pengelly, you got Turner now there as well.
Yeah, Turner has got back into it, and he's bringing the Vegemite car along with him as well, and Bert Van Jaarsveld is coming too.
Jesus. Van Jaarsveld, you got the Vegemite, you got Van Jaarsveld, we've got Dave Kinnaman.
Yeah, Kinnaman's made a phenomenal start from last on the grid as well. He's kept it clean. He's up to 7th position as well. And he looks like he's got something for them in this race. Look at them. They're nose to tail down this start-finish straight. Now here we go. Roger Clark onto the start-finish straight first. Brett Clark in the Caltex Volvo is grabbing the gears now and is coming right under the rear wing. He's going to try for turn 2, but we know that Roger blocked into turn 2 last time. Now he's going to try and make it to turn 1. Roger's... Oh! Oversteer. There comes Pengelly again, and he's... Oh, huge accident. Oh, and back on almost hit his teammate. Wouldn't want to be the team manager of that team. Bert has gone off as well on the inside there. This is chaos. Whew. What can you say, Troy? Roger Clark is still out in the lead through all of that, believe it or not. I think I've just lost Troy for a second. So
No, we're back now.
Roger Clark still in the lead. And Kai Turner is looking for the lead. We've got Pengelly still there. We've got Dan Ricard Pavel in 4th position. Brett Clark is back in 5th. With Dave Kinnaman and Bert van Jaarsveld. Bert, who almost came together with his teammate as well through no fault of his own, lost a few positions.
Now, the thing I was saying, Steve, before I was so rudely interrupted by internet disconnection, those tyres on the Clark car will now be absolutely murdered. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that can pretty much be the end of his race.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. He did hit the wall quite hard. Oh, what's happened to Kai Turner?
I think it was a slipstream there.
No, he lost. Looked like he missed a gear. Is that even possible these days? Looked like he missed a gear coming onto the straight. Pengelly's just rounded him up as well. Pengelly's now in 2nd, Turner right up the rear wing. Does nobody want to win this race?
I don't know. It almost seems cursed to be up there anywhere near the Roger Clark car.
Roger's just driving his lanes and looking at his mirrors, wondering what the hell is going on behind him as well. So we've got Pengelly now back up into 2nd. Kai Turner's trying to get round Pengelly again. He was lucky to get round him last time due to the incident with Brett Clark. Pengelly was off on the outside and allowed Turner up the inside. So Pengelly's definitely not going to give this one up. He is racing for the win. And if we look in the background, Brett Clark has gathered it back up again. And is now right on the back of the Vegemite Holden and is running for all he is worth at this point in time. And fair play to Dan Ricard Pavel, he's right up the back of Kai Turner as well, so he's not losing any time as well. Dave Kinnaman is catching up to the back of Brett Clark, and Van Jaarsveld in the 2nd of the SRT Caltex Volvos is catching up to Kinnaman as well, so my god, it's going to be busy in a second.
Oh, have a breath, Steve, have a breath. But in fair play here, you've got to ask yourself how much has been taken out of that tyre on Brett Clark's, because when he's had that spin, he's been sliding the right front. Oh, Jesus! I don't want to look.
We've got Pengelly moving to try and get the inside. Turner's trying to get it as well, but they're both trying to get past Roger Clark. Pengelly dives down the inside. Clark will move across the block. Turner's on the outside coming around this one. Can he hold it down? The Vegemite car's there. The SOT 69 car is also there. Brett Clark. Kinnaman is right on it now.
Tell me when it's over.
Was that a touch? Oh, and he's back on it. They've hit again.
Oh, Jesus.
Hold your breath, lads. It's not going to fit there together. Oh my god.
I'm just seeing the dollar signs.
Pengelly's lost a stack of places through there as well. I think he got nerfed by Kai Turner, from what I could see. I'll remain to be corrected on that one. Let's see if it comes to the attention of the stewards, but it does look like he got a little bit of a tap, got him out of shape. And Turner is back up into 2nd for the 2nd time. He's going to try and get Roger Clark. And now we've got Dave Kinnaman from last on the grid is in 3rd position and looking to try and get some decent points on the board after his disappointment in race 1. I would say that Kai Turner car's tyres are damaged quite significantly, as well as the Brett Clark ones. So let's see if he can actually make it past Roger Clark. And you've got to give it to Roger. He's driven the wheels off this thing and he's still in 1st.
Oh, look, if I'm Roger Clark, I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I'm thinking, how hard's this racing thing? Everyone's just falling off like flies.
Actually, if I'm Roger Clark, I'll have pushed the rearview mirror up so I can't see what's going on behind to distract me. It's
I'll tell you what, yeah, it would be one hell of a distraction.
Look at it, let's gather that back up again. So Roger Clark is still in the lead from Kai Turner 2nd, Dave Kinnaman in 3rd, Dan Ricard Pavel in 4th, Brett Clark now in 5th, William Pengelly in 6th, Bert van Jaarsveld in 7th. And these 7 are putting a hell of a show on. So we've got Roger Clark is taking the defensive line through there as well, which is back and Turner up into Kinnaman. Look at Kinnaman go now. He's got right on the back of the Turner car as well. Turner's trying to make a move through there, but Clark's driving up the middle of the road as well. A little bit overly defensive perhaps, but you know, he's kept it together so far while all around him have lost their heads. So into turn 6 now as well. He'll go to the inside, I would imagine, straight away. And yes, he has. Turner's going to force to the outside. Kinnaman's going to try and take advantage of that. Look at this. The Vegemite car's there as well. The Caltex SRT car is also coming through with, I would suspect, some damage. Doesn't have the pace it had earlier on for sure. Look at Turner.
How many cars we got here? 1, 2,
Seven.
3, 6. 6 or 7?
7. Clark
Jesus Christ.
Clark is a pretty good
Oh, there's a massive accident at the back.
What's happened?
Van Jarsfeld, I do believe. And Pengelly. Van Jarsfeld and Pengelly. Is Wayne back up his old tricks? And Pengelly straight to the pits.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's see if we can get a view of that. Oh yeah, we just caught it late in the replay there. It was a spin. And they both spun together, so jeez, that was unlucky. And look, we've got Dave Kinnaman has actually passed Kai Turner.
But he's out of control as well.
Just watching the replay now as we see where Clark was really on the outside. Turner went for the move into turn 1. Didn't quite... Oh, it was Clark actually almost spun it. Turner had to get on the brakes and Kinnaman has stuck it down the inside.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, here's a shock for the viewers and the team. Dan Stevens in 16th.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to actually look at that. He's had a pit stop. I wonder if he's had damage. So Bert van Jaarsveld is in 15th.
And full course yellow. Full course yellow.
Ooh. Wonder what's happened there. I can't see anything on my events. Has it definitely gone full course yellow? It's not showing on my screen yet. Yes, it is. And they're all coming into the pits. Good move, guys. Good move. Ooh, Turner almost overcooks it on entry there as well. Roger Clark slowed up quite significantly, and here they come. Whew.
Okay, let's have a breather. I need a pit stop after that.
I need a pit stop as well. Ian Hannon has continued on, has now assumed the lead. Roger Clark car is in. Let's watch the pit stop of the Roger Clark car, see if we can get in out. We know that SRT are pretty bang on pit stops as well. DSA are there or thereabouts as well, so going to see who gets out in first here. Unless Clark's got damage as well, he might want to get some of that sorted out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Roger Clark is out.
And Clark out, Kinnaman out, and Turner out ahead of Clark. Yeah, and Kinnaman.
He's had to get some damage fixed on that one. So Roger Clark has done a fantastic pit stop as well. He's still in 5th position. Dan Stevens has now made it up to 4th thanks to that full course yellow. Ian Hannon has assumed the lead without a pit stop. So, time to regroup. So Ian Hannon from Darrell Bennett, from Darren Goosey, Dan Stevens 4th. Roger Clark is Dan Stevens is the leading runner with a pit stop. So that full course caution worked out perfect for him.
Yeah, it's definitely played into Dan's favour. He must have, has Dan got his crystal ball in the car or something and seen that there's yellow coming and gone that lap early?
I would have thought that he possibly was involved in something further down, and it's been a fortune for him there to get it back up to the full course caution quick, because he was buried in 16th position with 1 stop. So that's how you win championships. Sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. He's got his teammate right in front of him, but I tell you what, I can't say how much I'm impressed with Roger Clark. He drove a defensive race to keep the lead, and why shouldn't he? And he managed to keep it. Everybody else made the mistakes. I'm sure that the team radios, there's some screaming on there, I would imagine. But you know, it is what it is. You play the cards you dealt, and it's given us a phenomenal race. And Kai Turner is the next. So Dan Stevens, the first car to pit. Roger Clark is the next car with a pit stop in hand. Kai Turner 3rd with a pit stop in hand. Dave Kinnaman with a pit stop in hand. And we've got the Darren Goosey car coming into the pits, have we? Yes, we do. I thought I seen one of the Castrol Holdens come in there. I wasn't sure it was Dan Stevens. That would have been a bit of a disaster.
I think Dan would have been mortified.
I'll tell you what though, Brett Clark, he must have done the lottery numbers, walked past the Black Cat a few times or something, but the luck is definitely on his side. He's got that car fixed, got new tyres on it, he's back up in 7th position, and the field is all closed up in front of him as well. The only downside to that is he's got Kinnaman and Turner have jumped him through the pit stops and getting any damage repaired as well. So I tell you what, these boys aren't leaving anything on the table, are they?
No, they're not, and I don't think we expect anything less from these guys. But Jesus Christ, this is one hell of a free kick for Dan Stevens there. But Bruce, not Bruce, sorry, Steve, can you get out and have a word to Bruce to see what the yellow was thrown for?
Yeah, we'll just get him now. Bruce from Steve, if you're not too busy. Actually, Dan from Steve.
Copy, mate.
Yeah, we'll just get Dan Stevens' opinion. So Dan, just look before that full course caution. You were down in 16th position with a pit stop. What had happened?
I got taken out, mate. I got pit manoeuvred in turn 2 by Dave Kinman, I think it was. And I got turned around. So, I dropped back and hit the pit because I had damage. So I've decided to stay out and try and see what happens.
So did you get the damage fixed in the pit stop that you made?
Yeah, mate. Yep, all done.
So you're good to go?
Yep, good to go.
One hell of a free kick there. Well done.
Yeah, well, I think it was Dave anyway. I'm sure I saw a yellow car behind me when I spun around, so hopefully I've got the right
That's
guy.
why they're coasting around here on the yellow flag, Steve.
We've just got Dan on the radio. 1 second. Dan, just one last thing from your perspective. That was a bit of a messy start, wasn't it, from everybody?
It was, mate. Absolutely messy. These guys have been racing in this league for a while. They know reverse grids aren't won on the first lap. And before we even got to the first corner, we had 2 guys in the grass. And then 2 or 3 corners after that, its cars were going everywhere. That's why I just hung back and just watched the show happen, eh?
Absolutely. We'll let you get back to it, and good luck for the rest of the race, Dan.
Righto, cheers.
So yeah, we just heard from Dan there that he got taken out by one of the 555 cars early on, which forced him to have to pit. So, as you said, Troy, a hell of a free kick there for Dan. He got back up on it, so good stuff. Let's see if we can grab Roger Clark and see what Roger thinks, obviously.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now, just for everyone, while we do that, if you're not aware, every lap under the safety car extends this race by a lap. So, if you can see a lap count there, it's now up to lap 55. 55 laps this race will now go for.
Okay, sorry, Dan from Steve, one last thing. Just checking with Dan a second.
Yeah, mate, go ahead.
Yeah, Dan, are you in the wrong channel? Do you want to move down?
Yes, I am in the wrong channel, mate. How did I end up there?
Don't know, because I didn't move you. I'll move you back down.
Okay.
So a little technical hitch. Little technical hitch there for Dan Stevens. We just helped him out. So let's see if we can grab Roger Clark. Roger, this is Steve in comms. We've just got you on the broadcast a minute. Fantastic start to that race. You've driven the wheels off the car. You've done the best pit stop, and you're out in a good position. Was that unexpected for you?
Yeah, a little bit. Cheers.
All hell broke loose behind you. We've seen some robust defensive driving, but hell, you were in the lead, so it's your option. But you let the rest of them take care of themselves. So, have you got anything for them for the second half of the race?
Just going to push as hard as I can, and well, let them come try past. The elbows are out.
Well done, good stuff, Roger. Keep at it. We'll speak to you after the race.
Thanks, Steve.
I suppose. Let's see if we can get Brett Clark down. Brett,
It'd be interesting.
Steve in comms here. We've just got you in quickly. Is it about to go green on this lap, or?
No, next lap.
Okay, that's fine then. Well, all hell broke loose at the start of that. You got right up to second position pretty quickly, and then it just seemed to fall apart after that. What was your take on it?
Well, I was on the inside, alongside, as far as I could tell. I don't know if the TV, if you guys can say anything else. I came over the radio and said, "I'm on your inside," and next minute, boom, and I'm hugging the inside line. There's nowhere more I can go without going off the grass.
Yeah, to be fair, we only got one take on it, so we didn't quite see exactly right, but the end result was the same. Is there any long-term damage on the car, or have you got it all fixed up in that stop?
I did have damage, but it's fixed now in the pit stop.
Excellent. A little bit of a close one with your teammate coming back on there as well.
Yeah.
To cause a few issues there, but good luck for the second half of the race, and hopefully we'll chat to you after the race.
Cool. Thank you, Matt.
Bert, Stephen Combs, we've just pulled you down. There was a few incidents for yourself, unfortunately. One very close one with your teammate as well, but looked like you were a victim of the exact same thing that happened in the first race at the final corner with Pengelly car this time. You were on the inside and got a whack on the outside, which knocked you off into looked like something static. Would that be fair to say? It looks like we have a few comms issues there with Bert. We'll drop him back down. Anybody else we want to grab, Troy? I think it's going great.
What about
actually.
Pengelly?
Yeah, let's grab Pengelly. Wayne, Stephen Combs, we got you on live on TV for a second. Fair to say, a few issues in that start of that race.
Hang on, Steve. I've got something to say. Are you back up to your old tricks, Mr. Pengelly?
Sorry, mate.
I'm saying we've
Back up to your old tricks, mate.
No, look, with Bert, just obviously got loose on the last corner there, and unfortunately come across and got him.
I suppose. What about the incident with Brett Clark? Obviously, that was a bit of a defining moment in the race for both of you. What was your take on it? I know you're going green on the next lap, so we just want to get it out of you quickly.
Oh, look, mate, pretty intense up the front there. Obviously, had one little incident and went from second to I think about 8th or 9th. So it just goes to show you the pace of the front runners. Everyone was pushing really hard, and as I nearly rear-end Brett there.
That'll be helpful again. No worries, Wayne. We'll let you get back to it. Good luck for the second half of the race.
Thanks, guys.
So there we have it. Obviously, it's difficult for the drivers to try and get across their point when it's about to go green on the next lap, so we'll do what we can to get them in there. But some interesting takes on it there, wasn't it?
Look, definitely interesting takes. You can see Wayne he's feeling quite. He's wearing his heart on his sleeve there. He's quite emotional about that and whatnot. But look, one thing you notice about a racer, they see it completely different to how the camera shows it.
Absolutely, and from the person in the other car as well. So I believe, yes, we are going green on this lap. So Ian Hannon is leading them round. At this point, surely Ian should be backing off a little bit, because he's not going to get the run.
One would think so.
Yeah, that's going to be. He's not going to get the advantage out of this.
Punch it, mate. Punch it. Punch it. Come on, punch it, Ian.
Pace car peels off. He's still got the right to hold them and go when he wants. And there he goes now. So down the start-finish straight now, and Ian Hannon takes them around onto lap 15. So a few laps under caution there. Let's everybody get their breath back as well. And I'll tell you what, Troy, they definitely needed to get their breath back on that one.
Oh, look, it was an intense start to the race. It's now a case of just finding the rhythm and getting back into it.
And look at this, Thor Johnson. Oh, got a tap from Dan Stevens.
Just put Stevens wide.
Has as well, and Roger Clark was looking to take the advantage there as well. Kai Turner's still trying to get round Roger Clark as well. We know how difficult that is. So let's see if take two, if they can all get themselves through as well. Pengelly's right up. Oh, Dan Stevens down the inside for third position on Thor Johnson. Roger Clark is trying to follow through as well. He's got the inside for the next corner, but it's a difficult one to make the move on. Kai Turner's on the outside as well. Where is Roger? He's still in position there as well. Dan Stevens up to third position on that one. Thor Johnson's just getting out of it and letting everybody else get on with it. Looks a bit messy back there again. And here we go again. Kai's made a mistake. Dave Kinnaman's down inside into this turn, but you can't run side by side through the next corner, and they settle back in together. So good drive there from both of them, and the Clark and Pengelly fight is going to go on in the background from the looks of it. So the old foes resume. And this time, it looks like he's got backup. He's got the second of the ASR cars with him as well. Look at this. Turner's got an awesome run out of that final corner as well. Clark's going to move to the left. I would have thought the block, but no, he doesn't. He's going to keep his foot in it though, and turn in. So, breathe in, Troy. What a move!
I can't watch.
Clark is not going to be intimidated by anyone at this stage, and there's Dan Stevens making a move up to the second position as well. That was a phenomenal catch by Roger Clark.
Turner. No.
You've got to be careful, right, Roger? He's running a different lane from everybody else as well, and he's making it work. So here we go again. Turner is anxious to get a move on, and they're going to come to. Whew. My God. Well, Roger Clark is still in front of Kai Turner. Dave Kinnaman is now on the boot lid of that Holden, looking for a way past. Brett Clark seems a little bit muted behind. I'm wondering if he's thinking, just let it take care of itself in front a little bit, but he's got to be careful because Wayne Pengelly is there as well with the second of the SR cars, so they're going to try and make a move. Look at that.
Oh, Clark mistake, and Turner through.
Turner is, or is he? Yes, he is through. Dave Kinnaman is looking to make a move now as well. So Turner's through finally on Roger Clark, but he's been through before and ended up back behind him. So let's see if he can keep it together on this one. Roger is now in sixth position. Dave Kinnaman is lining him up down here as well, but as we know, Roger's not going to give an inch down this part of the track.
No, he won't. Now, that incident there with Clark is something I was going to allude to as soon as this first break we had. Roger's got good race pace, he's got good racecraft, but he has been that enigma again, where he has had the problem of being consistent and keeping the car on track. And we just showed there that he just had that little bobble and it cost him a spot. So let's hope that Roger can find himself a rhythm, just keep it on the black stuff. And I tell you what, those 4, 5, 6, 7, however many cars behind him are going to have a hard time getting around him from what he's shown already.
We've got Brett Clark trying to make a move and Kinnaman to the back right there as well. We've got Dan Stevens going for the lead as well. He's already had a look around the outside of Ian Hannon, but Hannon is not giving up the position either. And as we say, with 2.9 seconds between first to 20th on outright qualifying pace, as we said, these guys all have pace. So you're not just going to drive past anyone in this series. You're going to have to work for it, and by God are they working for it today. Look at this, Stevens is trying the outside around turn 6. What's he looking to do? I thought he was going to try and close it off there, but not. Trying to get the run down the start-finish straight. I would imagine at this point Kai Turner is just settled back there into 4th position. Roger Clark is still just behind him as well, and look at this, Stevens is right on the rear bumper of that Rizla Holden in front, and Kai Turner is trying the same move on the Oranga Racing car behind as well. Stevens has got the overlap, but he's on the outside, which is going to make turn 1 very difficult. Is he going to do a lines and turn across him and get the position? Yes, he is as well. Dan Stevens to the lead, and Kai Turner is trying to make the move to 3rd position behind as well, and he hasn't at this point, but he's still looking at Darryl Bennett. Roger Clark's just passed him.
Outbalanced himself, outbraked himself.
Oh. Ooh, I bet Kai Turner.
That's what I was referring to.
Needs a change of underpants in that car at the minute. That was a close one.
I've just advised the team manager sitting next to me to get him to check the underwear.
Change of underwear for the next pit stop on that car. And looking behind as well, Brett Clark hasn't been able to make any impression on the Dave Kinnaman car as well. So this is the free kick of the year so far, and I know we're only in the second race, but Dan Stevens from 60. Oh, Darryl Bennett around. Did he get a tap from Turner, or was it his own mistake?
It looked like he just got on the power too soon to try and keep Kai behind him.
Okay, so we've got Kai with Dave Kinnaman shoved right up on the back of it. Brett Clark there as well. Roger Clark is still just behind Brett Clark. Pengelly is now dropping back a little bit further. He's got to try and take on the next car in line as well, which is the Roger Clark car, and that's going to be a mission. So Stevens has made good his escape. He's 2.2 seconds up the road as well. Turner's really got to get on top of Ian Hannon, and soon, if he's going to make any impression on that number 1 car in front.
Yep, and Bennett in. Obviously, he's got damage on that car.
Yeah, Brett Clark is making no impression whatsoever on the Dave Kinnaman car at this point in the race as well. We're just looking behind Pengelly. Oh! Kai Turner tried the move there, but Hannon had the line into that one, so he's not going to get through on that one. And he's actually pulled a little bit of a car length through there. Kai's had to gather it back up again. He's got to be careful though. He's going to overheat those front tires with too many offline moves. Look at this. He's still trying to round them up, but he's not going to get through there either. Stevens is out to 2.5 seconds in the lead right now as well. And just to give you a representative lap time, a 127.5 for Dan Stevens on that lap, a 129.6 for Kai Turner on that lap. So the longer this goes on, the further away Stevens is going to get.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just becoming one hell of a free kick for Dan Stevens.
Yeah, look at Brett Clark's off on the inside of turn 6 there as well. Oh, very, very messy at the minute for Brett.
And he gets behind Clark, it could be really hard. Clark behind Clark. Oh Jesus, where isn't there a Clark?
Too many Clarks. Look at Turner's trying to get the exit, but he hasn't got the exit off that corner as well. Whoever, Dave Kinnaman, has got the exit off that and is moved to the inside. And look at the power of that Volvo down the start-finish straight as well. He's just driven right past him as well. Throw it into turn 1 as well, and Kai's race is compromised again, although Dave will be running a similar pace as we've seen. He moves to the inside to block, but Turner's already there.
Oh!
And I can tell everybody in the field is going to be cursing now because they've just taken out the brake markers for that corner. So watch out for the next lap on that corner. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Kinnaman's up the inside of Hannon into this corner as well. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Turner's going to try and go through, but Hannon pulls back right across him again as well. Brett Clark is now alongside too. Kai's going to have to go the long way through that one. Ian Hannon's not going to give it up, but he's still on the inside for the next one. If he keeps his nose down in there, he could make it difficult, and he has kept his nose down in. Brett Clark is now looking at making the move on Kai Turner, who's been compromised through that corner as well. Dave Kinnaman has made his escape, and 5.1 seconds to the good is Dan Stevens in the lead now. He must be grinning in his helmet.
We'll see if I can...
Look at this Turner.
He's
got it. He has as well. Fantastic.
It's a good move.
Fantastic move. And then let's just keep an eye on Dan Stevens, because he's going to be the first one to arrive on the scene of turn 2 with no brake markers. And he's got a clear piece of track between him and Dave Kinnaman at this point. He's done a 1:27.779 on that lap, and Kinnaman's done 1:28.357. So Dan is pulling away, and here we go. No brake markers. No incident there. Professionals all the way. Brett Clark is now through past Ian Hannon as well, setting off.
We've got Thor Johnson and Steve in the wall.
Oh, we've also had an incident just behind us there as well. We just missed it. And if we're wondering how Stuart Portier is doing, commentator's curse, he was doing awesomely. Got right up past everybody into 5th position. He's now dropped down to 11th through a little bit of outbreaking through there. We've got Bert van Jaarsveld now making his way back up. He's stuck behind Roger Clark at the moment as well. So just keep an eye on Kinnaman in 2nd position, 4.46 seconds back. So Kinnaman is much faster through sector 1 than Dan Stevens was on that lap. So interesting to see what's happened. And Pengelly's lost a stack of positions as well.
He's in the pit, Steve.
Hasn't he already pitted at least once? Yes, he has. Unusual. Well, from running up in 2nd position, the race has gone to hell for Wayne Pengelly in the ASR car, and that's a bit unfortunate because he looked like he had a lot of pace on him.
Yeah, he definitely was one that we were going to be watching at the back end of the race.
So it looks like we've settled down a little bit now. We've got Dan Stevens 4.2 seconds in the lead, a 1:28.1 on that lap, a 1:27.4 for Dave Kinnaman. Kinnaman is intent on closing down that gap as fast as possible, but let's see how the tower wear goes. We're on lap 22 now. Kai Turner in 3rd position, Brett Clark in 4th, Ian Hannon in 5th, Colin Bruns in 6th, Dan Ricardo-Pavel in 7th, Jason Withington in 8th, Roger Clark's dropped down to 9th, Bert van Jaarsveld in 10th position, Stuart Poitier in 11th, Gavin Cox in 12th. Gavin's been pretty anonymous in this race, to be fair.
Yeah, look, he's definitely not as high as you would have thought he would have been, but it's good to see Kinnaman actually starting to show a strong showing, but just in reference to everyone diving into the pits on that early safety car, it clearly shows that everyone was thinking 2-stop from the start.
Hannah made a mistake there. The SR car got up the inside. The Vegemite car's trying as well. Everybody's getting jacked up again. It's looking angry in this pack, Troy.
When doesn't it look angry at the moment, Steve? When you got about 7 or 8 cars together, it's not pretty. Oh!
That was close. I tell you what, the soft tire definitely promotes some awesome racing.
Doesn't it?
So up front now, the gap is down to 3.6 seconds between Kinnaman and Stevens. The Vegemite car is looking to make a move around Ian Hannon as well, but he's going to have to do better than that to get it up, although he might get a run on him for turn 2, and he moves to the inside as well, leaves Hannon on the outside. Is he far enough alongside? It's going to be touch and go through here if Hannon can hold it on the outside, and it looks like he has. Oh, and almost a spin there from the Jason Witherington car, I believe it is. And he's got
Vengeance, big move down Clark, and they've touched.
And it's come back on, and they've hit.
Oh!
Oh.
That's an unsafe rejoin from Clark there.
Yes, it is. Just watching the replay from the Van Jarsfield car now, so we're going through into the right-hander. He moves to the inside of Roger. Roger turns across, and they have a little bit of a tap, and then yep, Roger comes straight back on and puts the 46 car in the wall.
They're looking at the Clark car. He'll be in this lap for repairs.
Front splitter's missing on the 46 car as well, and moving back up front, Dan Stevens in the pits. Okay, so
it's an early second stop.
2-stop race. He had got the lead back up to 4.8 seconds on that one as well, so...
Is it a 4? Is he going for a 2 or a 3 stop, Steve?
No idea. I would have said 2-stop, but that's a very early second stop, and he had a perfect lead as well, so... Why would you stop that early? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense in strategy land.
If that's a 2-stop race, he's expecting to do 32 laps
on
this set of soft tyres. No, he's going 3-stop. He's got to be going 3-stop.
Yeah, it's not definitely not looking the best there for Dan. He's gone from what was a perfect free kick to what has confused the commentators, to say the least. Not quite sure what's the thinking behind that one, but Kinnaman is in the lead. He's 0.8 seconds ahead of Kai Turner. Brett Clark is coming after them as well, so there's 2.3 seconds coming first to third. Colin Bruns is turning. Oh, Dave Kinnaman's off. Did you see that? He just clipped the inside curb, butted up onto 2 wheels as well, and both
Clark
Turner
up inside of Kinnaman.
Both Turner and Clark have took advantage and gone. He's going to be kicking himself for that one.
Definitely, but this could be interesting. It could, we saw the battle that these two had early. Could it be a case of that they get locked in their own battle and burn each other out, and Turner kicks himself away?
Don't know. We'll look over the next few laps as well. So we're just looking where we are. Bert van Jarsfield is down in 18th after that stop. Roger Clark has kept going in 8th position, so mustn't have been any damage on that car. Dan Stevens, the first of our 2 stoppers, is down in 12th position. I'd really like to know what was going on with that stop, because that's completely off the spectrum of any sort of strategy.
Oh, look, the only thing I can think of, Steve, is he's going to try a 3-stop strategy. Because of the early need to pit, I think... Look, realistically, if he doesn't go 3-stop, he's asking too much from those soft tyres.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that and see where he pops up later on. So, Kai Turner is in the lead, 1.3 seconds from Brett Clark. It'll be interesting to see how these two run this race now. And just looked like Kai Turner almost did the same as Kinnaman did there. He clipped that curb quite a bit as well. It unsettles the car quite a bit. Kinnaman almost rolled it through there as well, so he's lucky to be in 3rd position, to be fair.
Yeah, look, that is one of the curbs that if you're not if he's that millimetre too far over, bye-bye, Charlie.
Absolutely, and Kinnaman in the background, just looking, he's not letting Brett Clark get away with it as well, so they are putting on a bit of a fight amongst themselves to see if it's actually slowing them down. 128.207 for Kai Turner on that lap, 128.205 for Brett Clark, and Brett has made an enormous mistake through Sector 1, I would have said, because he's dropped off to 0.7 of a second in that first sector alone from the looks of it.
Look, Brett's been strong through Sector 1 all week, actually, in lead up to this race. And I think if Dave's going to make a pass, it could quite possibly be sort of the end of 3, beginning of 3, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder if he's scared himself a little bit by throwing it up onto 2 wheels. He'll be a little bit careful through this sector for the next few laps, I would imagine, as well. And it looks like Clark has actually just pulled the gap in this lap as we're talking. He's pulled out to over almost 3/4 of a second. And he's heading back towards Turner, although Turner's got a great exit out of that corner as well. The gap is now down to 1.3 seconds in the lead from Kai Turner, from Brett Clark, from Dave Kinnaman. Colin Bruns, as we say, in phenomenal 4th position, driving the wheels off that car as well. So we've just got Colin on screen now as well as he makes his way onto lap 27 out of 56 now with the added on laps from safety car. Looking quite handsome on that. He's done 1 stop himself, obviously under the safety car. Definitely had a better run than his teammate, although his teammate's clearly got pace to burn.
Oh, most definitely. Now it's getting interesting here, Steve, with Clark catching up onto Turner. Kinnaman just seems to be slowly falling off the pace here a bit.
Yeah, you can see Clark is now ranging up on the back of the Kai Turner car. Kai's ran wide on that one. Look at the exit that Clark's got out of this one. He's going to try and make a move on this corner. That's a tough one to make any sort of move, though, isn't it? And he's cost himself.
You've got to be next to him.
He's cost himself a few car lengths through there as well and brought Kinnaman with him as well. So Kai's starting to suffer from what I can see. The tyres are probably starting to scream enough anytime soon.
I think that could be the case there, Steve.
Yeah, Clark's right on the rear deck lid of that Commodore in front now as well. So coming through the final corner as well, he's just keeping it nice and straight, get a good exit. He's going to try and make a move for turn 2, I would imagine. Oh, was that a dummy towards the pits there?
Ooh.
That
bit of gamesmanship.
That looked like a dummy towards the pits from what I could see. He moved across. Yes, look at this. Clark is lining up for turn 2, although not on this lap. I wouldn't think.
He's too far back.
Yeah, he's just lost a little bit through turn 1 there. He's you got to remember as well, when these cars get right under the rear wing of another one, they lose the front downforce, and you need front downforce to turn 1 at Sydney Motorsport Park, or you're going to be out in the weeds.
Oh, definitely, Steve. And the problem is there isn't much front out downforce on these things to lose to begin with.
Exactly. Look at that, though. Turner is wiggling the rear of that car, so he's got a bit of oversteer as well. So he needs to be careful of that when he doesn't push it too hard. He's holding his own on this lap, although Clark is closing millimetre by millimetre, and it's that sort of relentless pursuit that you get from the 69 car when it gets anywhere near the rear end of another car. Is it almost like a magnet? It latches on and doesn't let go until it's either bitten you or it got past.
If we just step back a little bit here, between Bruns and Pavel, we've got quite a hot battle. Pavel's right up on him now.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the lead battle for a second for obvious reasons through here. Turner's been pretty quick through that 3rd sector now, which has broken the challenge of Clark on this lap, so he's not going to get close enough for turn 2, I would imagine. So we'll just have a look at the Bruns and Ricard Pavel battle. And Bruns is cool. He's got a bit of a wide exit out of that final corner. That allowed the Vegemite car right on the rear deck lid as well, so Bruns is actually pitting.
Oh, in.
In.
That was anticlimactic.
Well, you know.
Let's go back to Clark and Dixon.
Clark and Dixon.
And Cox.
Just looking down in 11th
oh,
position.
Hang on. Clark in.
Roger Clark in, yeah. Just looking down, 45 seconds off the lead in 11th position. Dan Stevens is behind his teammate, a good few seconds behind his teammate actually there as well. So yet to see what that strategy is going to materialize into, to be honest. It's not looking so good at this point.
No, if it is a 3-stop, I think it might have been a forced 3-stop, not a chosen 3-stop.
Yeah, it was an unusual time to make the stop. And what confused me the most, Troy, was on that lap, previous laps, Kinnaman had closed him down to 3.4 seconds, I believe it was at the end. Oh, a bit of oversteer there from Brett Clark. He's lost quite a bit of time with that one. Yeah, Kinnaman had closed him down to about 3.4 seconds, and on that lap alone, Dan had pulled it back up to 4.8 seconds, and then he pitted. So there was something very confusing unless he had damage or something that just not felt quite right, but it was an unusual time to pit.
Oh, it was because, as we said, if he's going to the end on that set of tires, that's 32 laps. And I'm sorry, but a soft tire is not gonna handle that.
Yeah, he's running the 27.8s as well, so he's running pretty much one of the fastest cars on track at the minute. So that would suggest that he's intending to stop again, which is really going to hurt his points grabbing on this one.
Yeah, you would think that it doesn't leave him in good position to bring home a good bag of points and defend his title. It puts him in quite a vulnerable position.
It definitely does as well. We're just looking at the battle at the front again. 30 laps in the books, 56 laps in total. So 26 laps to go. We're well over half distance now as well. Brett Clark is regrouping again for another move at Kai Turner, I would imagine. Kai is pushing the car, and I can see a back marker starting to range into view as well. So they might want to get any other stops out of the way sooner rather than later before they get stuck into the back markers, because as we've seen, they're not the easiest things in the world to pass.
It depends on which back marker it is.
Turner carries a lot of speed through this last section as well, I've noticed on every lap, and we've seen it in qualifying as well, that Brett only got the pole position because of the toe in this final sector.
Oh, exactly right.
Almost a little duck towards the pits there again as well, so it looks like there's a little bit of gamesmanship creeping in here as well.
It definitely is, Steve, and it's good to see that Kai is starting to become a real thinking racer here. If these are the games he's playing, he's really looking at Brett.
Massive lock up into turn 2 there by Kai. We left a good 50-meter tire strip down through there as well. That is not going to help the life on this car.
The only advantage is it was the front left, not the front right.
Yeah, and look at Clark now. He's obviously spotted that he's probably got a chance to either push him into a mistake or make a move, so he's got right up on the back of that DSA Drift School Australia car. And now look at this. Interesting to see where he lines up for the move, because you're not going to make it through these two corners unless Kai actually lets you. Kai's moved to the inside line straight away as well to cover off any potential moves as well. We've got Brett just taking it nice and smoothly through there as well. If anything, he's dropped off a little bit through that sector.
It's one interesting up front here.
Yeah, Kai's got a lot of pace through that sector, but look at this. Brett Clark has matched him blow for blow through that sector as well, and I would imagine he's going to try and upset him into turn 2 on this one and see if he makes a mistake, because he's not far enough alongside at the minute to try and make a move. And here we go, heading towards turn 2 now as well. Let's see if Kai locks that brake again. He moves nice and early as well. No lockups this time. But Brett is right on top of him right now. Look at this, they're almost touching through this section. We've got the right hander as well to come up. Brett takes a wider entry into there. It's cost him a few tenths through there as well. And yeah, back markers looming in the distance there, Troy.
Look, it's inevitable to watch. And looking further backwards, there it's Scott Portier and Dan Ricard Pavel going hammer and tongs now.
Yeah, we got Brett Clark, who's right on the rear deck lid again of that Holden coming through this corner. He didn't get such a good exit. Ooh, he's had to almost stop it on the apex there. Kai has as well. Brett's got a little bit of a run through here as well, but I do think he needs to be a little bit closer through this section. A lot of tire smoke from Kai's car through that part.
Yeah, he's really driving this car hard.
Look at that exit, awesome exit from Brett Clark through there as well. A little bit of oversteer in the exit, which has actually cost him down the straight. So,
but not a bad exit from Turner either.
That's what I was thinking there as well. Kai's got a phenomenal exit off that last one. It's just giving him that bit of a break. So it's static at about half a second through this section of the race between first and second. Dave Kinnaman has dropped off 6.8 seconds off the lead. Dan Ricard Pavel doing a phenomenal job in 4th position. Stuart Portier made his way back up again into 5th position. Gavin Cox has got his way up into 6th position with on my timing screen it's showing he's made 3 stops. Oh, look at this now. Turner's car's getting upset a little bit through there at the rear. Clark's having a look. Nowhere to really make a move around here unless you force the issue, and I don't think either of them want to force it this early in the race.
It's nerve-wracking here. He's all over the rear end.
This is the closest it's been as well. He's carried the speed through there this time, which he hasn't been able to do for the previous couple of laps as well. So it's just got to get a good run at him through this section. And it just looks like the DSA car gets the better exit off the last corner. And again, I've just seen Brett's had to get on the brakes a little bit earlier, but he's holding a tighter entry through there as well. Trying to get a good run, and he's got the best run we've seen so far. Yes, and DSA car makes a run for the pits this time. He actually does go for the pits. Brett Clark to the lead, Kai Turner to the pits. Dave Kinnaman should take over 2nd position, and there we go. So lap 34, the final stop of the race for the Kai Turner car as well. Clark needs to be thinking now about the undercut, because if Kai comes out and blasts out a few hot laps through there, he'll be well in front of him again by the time Brett makes his stop.
And that's crucial. That's 22 laps now to the end on this set of tyres, Steve. It's going to be one hell of a stint.
Definitely. We did see this at Road Atlanta though, where Clark didn't go for the undercut. He realised that he would be better to take a pin for a couple of laps and then pass him on track, and he was actually able to achieve that the last time out. So let's see if he goes for the same strategy again, or if he actually decides he's got to get in and get done.
I think he might find he's got to get in and get done.
That's what we thought last time, and he proved us wrong. But he is starting to catch Norman Clark and Roger Clark in front as well, first of the back markers now. So maybe let it stay out for a lap or two longer just to get right up to them, or we could be completely wrong as usual.
And you know what, Steve? It's not that often that we're right.
No pit stop on this lap, so he's going to deploy the Road Atlanta strategy where let Kai try and get the undercut, and then he'll come out with fresher tyres and battle him on track. But there's one flaw in that strategy this time, and that's this track is very difficult to pass on.
Oh, extremely. And we've seen that with the battle with Clark and Turner, Clark and Kinnaman. I'm seeing one common denominator there, and I think it's Clark.
There was 2 Clarks, and they've been stuck in from where it goes. So unfortunately, Brett is actually coming around to lap Norman.
Kinnaman in, Pavel in.
Norman moves out of the way as well. Didn't cost Brett Clark too much time. He's coming up to Roger Clark, who was our early race leader as well. So from driving a perfect race, it's sort of gone down the drain for Roger. He's down in 14th position now.
This is one of those tracks where it can go south extremely quickly.
Yeah, just looking ahead there.
And I tell you what, Steve, look who's up to P2.
Mr. Portier himself, yeah, and Brett Clark still doesn't take the opportunity to pit, so he's definitely going for the Road Atlanta strategy. Remains to be seen whether that works out or not. Kai Turner did a 2:04.299, including the pit stop, so we'll have to watch the Brett Clark lap time when he does make a pit. Dan Stevens is up to 5th position, but as you say, he's on old tyres, and it's going to take something to get to the end on them.
I don't see him making it to the end on them.
No, I don't think you're right there. So Brett Clark in the lead, 17-second lead from Stuart Portier at the moment. He's not catching the Roger Clark car as quickly as we would have expected, which I suppose is a symptom of the tyre quality he's got on there at the minute. 27.236 for example for Kai Turner, 27.757 for Brett. So he's probably going to go, I would say, a maximum of 4 to 5 laps from here to ensure that he actually gets somewhere close to Kai when he comes back out again, and then take a run at it with the fresher tyres.
Look, it's hard to say. I'm very surprised that he hasn't gone in already.
Well, I think he is looking at that strategy that he was successful with in the last round at Road Atlanta, where he waited out, didn't go for the undercut, and just kept.
And he's still out.
Laps. Yeah, he's still out. I'd say I think we're probably within three, maybe 4 laps. I think lap 40 is probably what's sitting on his dashboard. Hoping for. So we're on lap 37 now. So let's see how he gets on as well. As you said, it was at 29.384 on that lap, so it's starting to drop off a little bit. It's starting to worry me a little bit at this point in time. Yeah,
because that time around, if I look at the timing, we're 27.3 for Turner, so 2 seconds.
Yeah, so I make that by my watch. If they did the exact same sort of pit stop, Brett would come out somewhere in the order of 5 seconds behind Kai. Oh, actually a 26.9 on that lap, Troy, as he's just crossed. So it's going to be somewhere 5 to 6 seconds if he pitted right now, and assuming DSA and SRT run exactly the same pit time. So it's going to be tight at the end of this.
This is, you know what? Put a slap of beer on this one, Steve. Like I've told you in the past, they perform better.
I think the boys will get it together anyway. And you can just see he's ran out a little bit wide there. Those tyres are really starting to drop off. He might actually be forced to jump a little bit earlier than he wanted to. Yep.
And he's in.
Right, so 204.399 I think it was for Kai Turner, including the pit stop. So let's watch and see where
299
Clark is on this one. So we just got Kai Turner on screen now. He's coming around the back half of the circuit now as well.
Clark's still in the
box.
box.
Keep an eye on Clark. So Turner is coming around the final corner now. He's got traffic in front of him as well.
Clark out.
Onto the start-finish straight as well. He'll be coming down here at a much faster speed. Though where is Clark at this point?
He still hasn't crossed the control line. Just coming to the control line now. And there he is.
He's going to have Dan Stevens in between him as well, which is the last thing he needs. And there he is.
Last thing he needs if you're Brett Clark, but it's the first thing you want if you're Kai Turner. Massive lock-up from Stevens.
Yeah, those tyres are going to be crying enough, so we'll probably see Dan Stevens actually jump to the pits. So what did we say on that last lap? So he's 4 seconds behind Kai Turner. So my maths aren't that bad.
It was a good guesstimation.
So let's see what sort of lap time is when he crossed start-finish straight for reference to Kai. His pit stop must have been a bit quicker. Obviously he'll have less fuel to put in, because he's less laps to do as well, so you've got to take that into account. I imagine he's been a little bit quicker through the pit stop itself. And Gavin Cox,
I think
is actually in the lead.
Yes, is the optimizer, is what I like to call him. He makes the optimal advantage of every poor situation for everyone else.
Yeah, so just looking, Gavin Cox is listed on mine as having made 3 stops.
And he's in.
Gavin Cox in. That's going to be a 4th
Cox
stop.
in, Turner to take the lead.
Turner back to the lead. Dan Stevens is in. Will be up to 2nd position. Brett Clark will be up now as well. So we get a representative lap time now. Did Dan Stevens pit as well? He did.
2:01, so
Yeah.
he was almost 3 seconds quicker.
Absolutely, and he's 2.5 seconds off Kai Turner now as well, so he's driving the wheels off as well, and we're going to be set for a grandstand finish to that. So before that takes place, let's run through the field. First position Kai Turner, second position Brett Clark. No doubt we'll be back to them shortly. Colin Bruns, driving pretty much the race of his life in the V8s, is in third position, having made both of his pit stops, running in 1:29.3 on that last lap. Dave Kinnaman, who's made both of his stops, has lost out to the SR car through the pit strategy there, and is 17 seconds off the lead in fourth position. He's lost quite a bit through that pit stop window, Kinnaman.
I think he was involved in an incident, wasn't he, Steve, where he had to actually take a bit of repair on?
No, he got up on two wheels, so he shouldn't have needed any repairs through there, but he's definitely lost a bit of pace from earlier. Jason Witherington doing a fine job in fifth position with both of his stops out of the way. Dan Rickard Pavel in sixth position, again awesome job, 2 stops done in the books. Stuart Poitier in seventh position in the Plus Fitness Holden, doing a fantastic job to get up into seventh. We did see that he was up into second or third at one point, but ran off the track a little bit, so he's making up a bit of ground. 2 pit stops in the books. Gavin Cox now in 8th position with 4 stops in the books, so must have been a couple under safety car to top up or something, or get a bit of damage fixed. Ian Hannon is in 9th position, and Dan Stevens, our reigning champion, in 10th position, 35 seconds off the lead. Got quite a bit of work to do from there to get a decent haul of points. I don't see any obvious candidates, Troy, for him to as easy meet in the top 10 at the moment.
Looking at it there, he's a fair way off it. I don't like his chances, unfortunately.
Yeah, bit of a mystery that. We'll try and grab him at the end and see what happened. Darren Goosey running in a fine 11th position in this race, so obviously had a bit of a mare in the first race and things are getting together for him on that one. And I'm sorry, but we've got to jump straight back to the front because we've now got Clark 0.6 seconds off the lead. So while we did that brief run through the field, Clark's managed to get down 2 seconds off Kai Turner already. So let's see what the lap times as we cross the start finish straight for Kai is a 1:27.898, a 1:26.565, the fastest lap of the race for Brett Clark to close within half a second of Kai Turner. These two are going to battle.
Actually, no, Dan Stevens has the fastest with a 26.3, Steve.
You're right, he does as well. That must have been earlier on instead of just missed that one. So Brett Clark has unleashed that patented pace, shall we say, that he's got right towards the back end of the race, involved in that incident at the start. But they've both managed to get through okay, running first and second. But for how much longer, that is the question.
You know what this reminds me of, Steve? It reminds me of the days when Reece Morris was in our league and him and Clark were going at it.
Absolutely, blast from past there. So we've got just on board with Brett Clark now at the moment. He's just trying to catch up to Kai Turner from the cockpit as well here. It's quite a bit of luck to get on there. We've got, is that Wayne there in front of Kai, his teammate?
Certainly is.
Wonder if it's in the back of his mind what happened earlier on, or if he's actually going to do him a favour.
I'm hoping the latter.
But look at that, Brett Clark's got an awesome run out of that final corner as well. He's starting to close up down the home straight. He's going to make a look for turn 2, I would imagine, as normal. So we're through turn 1 pretty much flat out. He's catching and catching and catching all the way through here as well. Not close enough to make a move on this lap, but they've caught Wayne quite a bit on that one.
Yeah, obviously Wayne's struggling here for tyre.
And again, we're in this cat and mouse situation again, which, you know, we did mention this earlier on with the longer running strategy of Brett, that he would still have to pass Kai on track, and that's not going to be an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination, especially he had plenty of practice trying to get past him just before it and wasn't able to achieve it. So let's see what he can do now with the fresher tyres. And Wade there's off the track actually, so both drivers through clearly.
Good driving.
And Kai automatically goes to the defensive on that one as well. He's not going to be caught out with that. And no the difference this time with the fresher tyres, you can see there's no oversteer from Brett coming out of that corner this time, so he's able to actually live with Kai through this section.
Roger Clarkey.
Look at this, he's right on him at the exit from this corner though. Kai seems to be getting an awesome exit with Holden. Gets the power down earlier. Although, I'll tell you what, there's nothing short in the engine department on that DSA car.
No, the old Bruce Duncan, he's looked after us.
Although look at Clark now, he's clearly looking to take advantage. Again, he's not close enough on this one. They're coming up to Norman Clark, back marker. I'm wondering if Brett Clark's taking advantage out of this as well. And they're both clear by 19 seconds of Dave Kinnaman in third. A phenomenal drive there. Kinnaman's actually got past Colin Bruns at the lap before, so Colin doing a fantastic job up to fourth. Lost his podium unfortunately, so see if he can keep it together and keep fourth position. And here we go, we're catching Norman Clark all the way. Clark pulls to the inside. Both drivers have to go wide round there to get through, and they're both through and clear. Good drive there by Norman.
Yeah, that's Norman. He's a class act as a back marker. He gets out of your way and makes it easy for you.
You know what, Troy? I'm just going to say at this point that I cannot say where Brett is going to get past Kai.
It's not looking easy, is it, Steve?
Well, there's no obvious position for me. It's going to have to be something out of the ordinary or something deep down from Brett's repertoire of moves to try and get this done.
And that's something Brett's renowned for, is something that you don't expect to happen.
He's as close as he's ever been down the start-finish straight now as well. He's in the slipstream this time as well. The DSA car's not pulling away. Look at this. He's gone too early on that one. It's going to cost him on the exit, and it has. What he wanted to do there was breathe on the throttle just a tiny bit and then get it back down again to get at him through turn 2. So he's going to have to gather it back up again and have another think about that one.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just a slight little lift and then back on it, just sort of give him that little break in momentum, then pick it back up again.
Yeah, definitely. And here we go again.
Further down the grid, but Steve, we've got Bruns and Pavel going at it.
Just going to keep focused on this one to see this time if he actually can make that count. He just actually, the problem with that move was he just caught him too early in turn 1, didn't he, and had to get out of it.
Yeah, that definitely was it.
And here we go again, so he's starting to range up on the back of it again, although now the oversteer is
a little bit oversteer.
This is what we've seen from the Volvo through the last part of the race when he was trying to pass Kai as well, was that oversteer kicked out of turn 6 and it just backed him off too much through this section, and it's the exact same effect again. He's too far behind again, and he's not quite in the slipstream for this one as well, so we will say Kai's half a second to the good. It's when you get within about 0.3 of the car in front you seem to get the slipstream.
I think within 0.3, 0.2 is when you're going to see the most of it.
Turner's nice and clear through turn 2 as well. Brett's going to have to rethink this one and get back up on it. And again, it's going to be such a difficult one to actually pull this one off.
Oh, look, it's not going to be, as we said, passing here at the creek is not easy. And there's something happened to Bruns. Yeah, Bruns is into the pits.
Oh, that's unfortunate as well. That brings Poitier up to 5th position as well. 4th for Ricard Pavel. Gavin Cox is up into 6th. Dan Stevens in 7th as well. And they're right on top of each other if I get things right. Just looking at it, yeah. So Gavin
Cox and Stevens, yes,
together. Just popping back up again, and there's no oversteer this time from Brett Clark through that bit. And a little bit of a run off the track on the outside there for Kai Turner. So let's see if Brett can take advantage of it through this section. It's closing all the time, but the exit from this final corner by the Holden is usually phenomenal. And again,
Yeah, he's
that's
got that
pretty
car
good.
hooking up.
Although we're within 0.4 of seconds, we're almost in slipstream range. This could actually work for Brett. It backs off enough and keeps it going through turn 1. Tighter entry there for Brett Clark as well, but a good run through for Kai Turner as well, which leaves Clark looking for... Oh, big lock up there from Kai. Brett's had to go wide as well, just in case there was anything happening on the outside.
Tell you what, this is it's all class battle up the front.
It's a 270 km/h game of chess, this one at the moment. Just waiting for one of them to breathe.
Was I supposed to be breathing?
I haven't been breathing for a while.
I'm just worried about the checkbook a little bit here.
Going a little bit oversteer again there from Kai Turner, which has had to lift out of it a little bit. Clark is taking as much advantage as possible as he can. Now this is where he's got to be careful through here. He's got to not get too close and still get a half decent exit out there, and he's done okay that one. It could have been better. But they are going to hit a lot of back markers in a minute actually from the looks of it, so that could play into the hands of the car behind, because as we well know, the first to arrive on the scene is the one who wakes them up. So, and a good exit there.
Let's just hope that the back markers are on their game as well.
Oh, Brett's got a fantastic exit out of that one as well. He's within 0.3 seconds. He is getting the slipstream now as well, so we're heading into turn 1. This is where it went wrong last time, and he's done the same thing again. He's had to get out of the throttle. He just seems to catch the car too early in the corner.
He's just, I don't know, he's just not timing his move right, I don't think, Steve.
I'm not sure it's timing. I think it's you get within a certain distance of the car in front, and it seems to just almost suck you right in. So even lifting out of the throttle, you're probably still going to catch right up to it. It's just he's catching it in the wrong place, and look at that, there's a lot of over and understeer through that when that car was completely out of shape, so a little bit of frustration possibly creeping in.
It could be, because we do know how impatient Clark can get at times. If the car's not sort of doing what he wants, he can start to overdrive it a little bit and just start making those little mistakes.
Just as we've seen flashing through the camera there was his teammate Van Jarsveld and Ian Hannon are the next cars they come up to lap as well, so back markers could yet play a part in this. The last back marker managed to drive off the track unfortunately, which didn't give the Caltex Volvo any chance to make an impression on the car in front as well. And here we go again, and Clark's got a decent exit out of that one, and again he's in the slipstream. So this is where we've got to watch it as we turn into turn 1, that he doesn't catch him too early. And he's going to do it again. Didn't seem to catch him in that one, but didn't have enough pace then to make the move into turn 2, although he's right on the rear deck lid again now.
We're starting to get a bit of a gaggle of cars forming here between 5th, 6th and 7th. We've got Scott Portier, Gavin Cox and Dan Stevens, all fighting over almost the same piece of real estate.
So lap 48 in the books, and the second of the SRT Volvos is coming up to be lapped now. He's stuck behind Ian Hannon as well. So those two are in an intense battle to say the least. They're not going to be giving any favours to anybody coming up behind.
No, because then they're going to lose out in their own battle as well.
Let's see, decent run through there for the 69 car as well. It's closing up nicely through this section again. Oh, a little bit of oversteer from Kai there as well. Brett's had to get out of it as well. But they're still nose to tail coming down here. This is as close as he's ever been. From the looks, he's within 0.2 of a second going down the start finish straight. Right in the rear slipstream right now. He's got to keep his foot in it through here. And he does as well. He's still right on the rear boot of this car. Don't know why I'm saying rear boot, because there only is a rear boot.
Well, if it's a Porsche, it's a front boot.
Definitely they're catching the 46 car handover fist as well, and The 7 car of Hannon, the 46 car of Van Jarsville are in a titanic battle for that position as well. And that is actually for 11th and 12th, so they're not going to do any favours, and Van Jarsville's run a little bit wide through there as well, and he's actually moved over to let both cars through, which is good driving, but damn it, it makes it frustrating for us on TV.
Oh yeah.
Again, I still do not see where Brett is actually going to make a move. He's had a bit of pace over Kai at the start of this, but
Steve is back in as we suspected. Steve.
that's a third stop, is it? Fourth? That's a fourth stop, isn't it?
Looking at the live timing, I would suggest that
Four?
no, it's a fifth.
Something's
No, it's a
not
fifth for Cox.
And Hannon moves over as well. But Clark is a little bit behind. Oh no! Kai's trying to get the slipstream off it, and well done there as well. So the second of GRC cars helps one of the leaders. And Brett's took
Remind me to slip that $50, Steve.
Brett's done the wall of death around the outside as well. He doesn't want to lose any time of that. And Van Jarsville and Hannon resume their battle behind as well. Six laps remaining. We've got to see if Kai's tyres actually start to fall off a cliff, because that's the other variable that we haven't counted in for so far. Look at this. Clark's gone through there at a rate of knots as well. We have seen a few lockups throughout the last few. Ooh, bit of oversteer there from Brett. We have seen a few lockups from Kai throughout as well, so I'm wondering if he's going to come back and bite him at the back end of this race.
I think it might, Steve. And obviously what Brett's trying to do there is maybe just fill Kai's mirrors a little bit, try and unsettling him. But so far, I'm telling you what, Kai's got nerves of steel. He's not feeling any pressure, well, not showing it.
Definitely not showing it. He might be feeling it, but he's not showing it, and he's not showing his hand to Brett either. He can't seem to unlock the way past. Although he's bloody quick through there. Look at this. We're getting up onto the rear wing. Again. Oh, that line's probably too tight, but look at this. What a run he's got now down the home straight. 0.1 seconds between them. If he's going to make the move, it's going to be this lap. Can he get alongside into turn one? Kai's going to do wall of death, and he's through. But has he gone wide on the exit? He's going to cover the inside into turn two. Kai's trying to get round there. Side by side through there if he can keep it. Don't know about you, Kai, but I don't know about you, Troy, but this race is starting to age me.
I feel like
Brett Clark through and into the lead as well. Now let's see if those tyres are still as fresh as we suspect. Can he actually pull away now as well? 51 laps out of 56 in the books. Brett Clark in the lead from Kai Turner. Dave Kinnaman 24 seconds back in third. Stuart Poitier in fourth position, and we'll move back to those guys for now actually, because all hell is breaking loose. Roger Clark's in the middle of it. The Vegemite car is trying to get round. Roger's a lap down as well, which has cost the Vegemite car a little bit there, allowing the fourth place car Poitier to jump up the road a little bit. Well,
it's all happening back here.
What can you say, Troy? Clark's out to 1.8 seconds of a lead already, so just goes to show you the pace that he had weight on those tyres. He just needed that little bit of luck to try and get through, and he has. Lap 52.
It definitely has, Steve.
Down as well, 2.3 seconds on that lap. A 1 minute 30 for Kai, 127.6 for Brett on that lap. So Kai's starting to suffer a little bit. Hopefully he hasn't suffered too much and can hold on to that second position. Let's do a little through the field, see where your favourite driver is at the moment. So we've got Thor Johnson is the only car out. In 19th position we've got Norman Clark running still. We've got the Forest car in 18th position. Wayne Durr down in 17th position. Wayne seems to have struggled this year, especially in pre-season as well. He hasn't been running the pace that he did in the Enduro Cup. So anything to report on there, Troy?
It's nothing that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an enigma there going on. The pace from the other DSA cars definitely not translating across to the second one. So see, and then we've got Trevor Dixon in 16th position, running nicely. Darrell Bennett in 15th position, the lead Oranga racing car. Sorry, the second of the Oranga racing cars, because we have Roger Clark in 14th position. To be fair, a bit of a disappointment for Roger. He was running cleanly out the front and was running up in the top three after the safety car as well, but just seems to have gone south since then. And then William Pengelly.
And
Pengelly in 13th, not the race that he was expecting, and certainly not the race we were expecting from the first 10 laps or so, when he was right up the front and battling with Brett Clark all the way through. Clark now leading the race, Wayne now 1 minute and 58 seconds behind, so not so good.
no, definitely not. It's probably hasn't panned out exactly how he was hoping.
No, and then we've got Darren Goosey in 12th position, Bert van Jaarsveld in 11th position after that accident earlier on. Just looking at Bert's fastest lap of 127.397. Not quite as good as his teammate, obviously, 126.5. So sort of a similar situation with DSA there. The second of the SRT cars, the pace isn't really translating across at the moment. So something that the lads obviously need to look at there. Ian Hannon is 10th position. Ooh, getting raced hard by a backmarker as well.
That's not what you want.
And I'm just watching, we'll just stick with this one for a minute. So Hannon's trying to get turned down as well. The backmarker finally lets him go, or does he? But Jaarsveld not able to capitalise on that one. And Jason Witherington running in 9th position, 19th, dropped him 10 positions. 9th there. Colin Bruns in 8th position with 3 stops in the books. Colin was running right up in the top 3-4 for a long time there as well, so I'm sure he's going to be disappointed with the end result of this one. 9th not where we wanted. Then in 8th position we've got Dan Stevens. 4 stops in the books according to my reckoning as well. A little bit of a question over what happened with that second stop. It was very, very early, and it's obviously caused him to stop again, and he's stopped again since as well. So obviously tyre life or something's not quite working out for him on that car.
Something's not working, but look, speaking of tyre life, looking at the live timing here, Turner's tyres must be gone.
Yeah, just looking, he's 16 seconds behind now, 133 on that last lap as well. He's getting passed by back markers as well, which is never a good sign. Dave Kinnaman is 10 seconds behind, however we're on lap 54 out of 56, shortly to be lap 55. So he should be okay, you would like to think. But Clark clearly was getting held up by an enormous amount at that point, and I think I just did push it a little bit too hard.
Yeah, look, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously there's something different in the way the two cars are set, because the tyre life just wasn't there for the Turner car.
Yeah, and he's got to do it. We're on to the last lap now. Brett Clark has taken on to the last lap. We're through turn 2 now, heading towards turn 3. And what can you say? It's been a phenomenal race for Clark. He had that enormous issue at the start and the accident as well. Got lucky with the safety car, obviously, but he's made it work for himself as well. He's shown patience and composure to get through it. He's stuck to his guns on his strategy as well, and he's made it work.
Oh, look, he definitely has there, Steve. And I mean, he got a massive free kick with that safety car coming when it did after the incidents he had, because where he slid along the right front, so that would have absolutely torched that tyre and would have given him no grip sort of in another 5 to 10 laps time. But yeah, look, he's really driven that car well all day.
Yeah, and as our viewers pointed out, we've got Dave Kinnaman in 3rd, who started from last position. Brett Clark obviously started from 2nd last as well, so good race there by Dave, but he lost out in the middle somewhere around those second stops. Seemed to cause the problems, and here we go, we've got Brett Clark crossing the line now for his 2nd win of the day. Perfect scoreboard, pole position, and 2 wins. What more can you ask for? Phenomenal.
Look, all class effort.
Brilliant. And Kai, is he going to make it across? He is just about. Kinnaman had closed within 6 seconds of him by the end there. And he's brought that car home. There mustn't be a shred of rubber left on those fronts.
And I'll turn the team radio up in the corner here, Steve. 0%.
There we go. So we've got Brett Clark takes the win from Kai Turner, Dave Kinnaman in third, Stuart Poitier fine fourth in only his second event with Racing Leagues. Dan Ricard Pavel, the awesome job in fifth. Gavin Cox with a lot of stops in sixth. Dan Stevens again with a lot of stops in seventh. So they both did well to get there. We've got Colin Bruns in 8th position. Should be a little bit disappointed with that considering where he was running. Jason Witherington in 9th. Bert van Jorsfield in 10th following an accident. He finally got Ian Hannon right at the end. Darren Goosey doing a fine job in 12th. Wim Pengelly, who was running at the pace of the leaders, down in 13th. Roger Clark, who led for the early part of the race, in 14th. Darrell Bennett in 15th position. And then in 16th position, Trevor Dixon. Wayne Dare 17th. The Forest car in 18th, Norman Clark in 19th, and DNF for Thor Johnson in 20th. So that's a wrap. We've got our races in, so let's get the top 3 down and we'll let you interview them. Troy?
No worries.
So welcome to the top 3. Brett Clark from Kai Turner, from Dave Kinnaman. Congratulations guys and well done. Just over to you, Troy.
Yeah. Dave, mate, last position. Did you expect to see yourself on the podium today?
I really didn't. I might have expected it a bit more on the first race with the strategy that we were running. But unfortunately, that wasn't to be. But really happy with the recovery to be on the podium now.
Obviously, it's the strategy really worked for you. Did you come in? Were you planning on coming in around that time when that safety car came, or was it just a quick dash in?
Nah, completely opportunistic. Decided to take advantage of the slow stationary time.
Naturally, no worries, mate. Well, top drive, well done. Kai, mate, second position there. You managed to hold off Brett for probably a good 10 laps, I think it was, mate. No tyres left?
Nah, mate, I was literally running on rims, yeah. 0% for 3 laps.
That's incredible. So, obviously, now Dave hears that, he probably thinks, just that one that got away. Mate, good drive, obviously, with no rubber.
Thanks, mate.
On to the man of the hour yet again today. Brett, mate, he made you work for it there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good race. I could see at the end of the first stint, his tyres were much worse off than mine, and that was why I extended my. I was actually going to pit the lap that he came in, and then when I saw him duck to the inside, I thought, oh, that's fine. I'll extend my stint 3 laps, and then I'll have much better rubber towards the end. And then it's just following Kai around just to see if he had any weaknesses or where the tyres might give away. And eventually it came, and I got through.
You say that you're watching him merge over. Now, we watched that he did that probably 3 or 4 times there. Were you thinking, okay, this is the lap?
Yeah, what I ended up doing was in that corner, I dropped the rear anti-roll bar down to 0 coming out the corner and just put my foot flat in it. And instead of him pulling away this time, I managed to sort of be at the same speed. And then the draft obviously helped me through.
Oh, sensational drive, mate. Guys, it's been a joy tonight. It's been some sensational racing. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Great start to the season. Let's keep it up.
Thank you, mate.
Guys, well done.
Cheers, mate.
So there we have it. Let's see if we can grab our final person we want to have a chat with, Dan Stevens. Dan, you're in the comms with Steve and Troy. A little bit confused by that second stop there. Do you want to talk us through it? It looked a bit early from what we were expecting.
The second stop.
So you did the first stop and you were out in second or third, I think, after the safety car, and then I think it was lap 21 or 22. You actually dived for the next stop when you just pulled out to a 4 0.8 second lead over Dave Kinnaman, who was in second at the time. Was that planned, or were you forced?
No, it's actually that whole safety car actually mucked up my strategy big time. I towards the end, I actually had to pit again for a smash and dash because I was short by 2 litres. If that safety car didn't come out, it would have been all good. But all my stops were planned apart from when I got spun around.
Okay, well done. Not quite the haul of points that we think you should have got with the pace you had, but well done all the same, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
So there we have it. That's a wrap. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you again in 2 weeks' time. So thank you.